Here's Ted Cruz talking about, here's the Republican. Well, the Republican Party seems to want to run on the idea that they should be imposing austerity on people right now. And the Democrats need to get out there and be aggressive and demand they should be on television constantly. And to some extent they are. $600 a week. We're not going to give the American people a pay cut during a pandemic. That's what they should be saying right now. That should be the line. Here's Ted Cruz coming out and complaining that the U.S. government is spending when he voted for a tax cut for millionaires and billionaires that cost this government the record-setting deficit. Now, I'm not too worried about the deficit, but this is his hypocrisy. Play it.
Next week, I'm going to introduce a bill that I'm calling the Recovery Act that is going to be a whole series of pro-jobs, pro-growth steps that if we're going to take, our focus should be getting people back to work. And right now, the current so-called Republican bill that is going to lose a lot of Republican votes if and when we vote on it is not focused on jobs. Pelosi wants jobs to go away. And right now, basically the Republican bill took the Nancy Pelosi bill, divided all the numbers by 3 and proposed the same damn thing. We should have different ideas that work. Yeah. And a final political point.
Cut away. Can you cut to me for a second? Cut back. Like what's funny that Ted Cruz said there that Michael Knowles, the former comedy guy, laughed at.
Sam, I think the direction they use at Daily Wire is designed to make you ill.
Me personally. Yeah.
Yes.
It's just absurd. Wait, continue on with this. So he's just complaining now, and it's also indicative of the Republicans are all over the place and they cannot get it together. But is there any more to what he's saying?
So there's some Republicans who are really scared. We got to do this. We just got to do it. It's an election. You got to spend money. Look, in the battle to be Santa Claus, Republicans will always lose. If suddenly we pony up $3 trillion, they'll go to 4. Like there's no limit. And frankly, show me the voter out there that's really looking for a bunch of cash, that's actually going to vote for the president because of it. If you want someone to bankrupt the country and bankrupt your kids and grandkids in order to get more cash right now, you're going to vote Democrat.
Yeah.
I think it's right. A null set. We should be the party of jobs and growth and prosperity and higher wages.
I think that they've got to the Democrats have got to run on this. The idea that he's going out there and the Republicans. And the problem is when the Democrats agreed to the CARES bill, and even if you feel, which to a certain extent I do, that maybe you had to give, pay homage to the corporate thing to get the relief for actual human beings. I'm agnostic on it, but let me, for the sake of argument, I'm willing to stipulate that you temporarily capped the benefits to people, i.e. the $600 a week, the $1,200 a one time, the eviction moratorium, which I would have liked something more robust there, but you put a timeline on those. What you did not put a timeline on was the free loans to major corporations. And from a political standpoint, just put aside from the policy implications of that, from a political standpoint, you are basically giving a chunk of the entire Republican Party almost, and then even a chunk of the Democrats. You're giving them enough so that they can walk away from the table. They don't have to come back. If you had limited that temporarily, then they'd have to come back too, and you'd have some leverage. But Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, they literally, it's as if they always want to put themselves in pushing against the string. Always. So they can push and they can make a show of pushing against the string. Look at, we're pushing. But they wait until it's a string and they don't pull, they push. And they set it up that way every single time. They set themselves up for failure. And I understand, and they think that it is politically expedient. And they may get away with it this time because Donald Trump is so horrible. But it is, it's reprehensible from the perspective of like helping people. They should actually seek leverage.
Yeah, it's almost like helping people is not their first priority.
I mean, the way that they justify it is like, well, we maintain power, and then we will.
For what?
Exactly.
What are they doing with all that political capital? Are they just like keeping it in a vault and swimming around in it every night like Scrooge McDuck?
It's precious.
Honestly, what Pelosi squandered with the House in the last few years, I think should be. I want to read a book on that.
Yes.
Complete defanging of the actual resistance.
Really.
To go back to Ted Cruz for a second, like, did he learn nothing about how Trump cucked him in the primary? Like, a lot of the people who vote for Trump aren't doing so based on some sort of principled fiscal conservatism, right?
Oh, yeah. He's just pretending, though. That's just a branding exercise for him.